Hello everyone and welcome back guys to AOR Season 14, and today we're here for the final round before Christmas, the halfway stage of the season as well, round 10 at Silverstone. Now this is actually the first ever British Grand Prix I've done in AOR. Unfortunately I missed both of Season 12 and Season 13's races, so was hoping, to finish off, the Christmas break on a high, go into the new year with a bit more confidence. But I'm going to leave you on board then, first of all, like I usually do with my qualifying lap. This one was actually quite decent, so I decided to include it. Breaking down then into the final couple of corners, you can see Sam F1 LFC is on a 1 minute 27, but coming through down in through the final corner then, and we're going to go with a 1 minute 28, about 6 tenths off Sam there, and unfortunately that left me P9, which I think really just goes to show how close Split 2 really is. By the end of the session there, you can see we actually qualified P11, which I was quite happy with, meant that we could go for the alternate strategy there. Would much rather start P11 than P9 in the final race before Christmas there. But yeah, a little bit gutted. Qualifying pace just doesn't seem to be my thing. There was easily, another few tenths to find on that lap. But as I said, don't really want to have to try and fight in the top 10. So we're going to go outside the top 10. Start P11 on the set of these soft tyres. It seems to have benefited me over the last few weeks. So hopefully, once more, it can do the same. But here we are then on the grid, ready for the British Grand Prix. It's 4 lights. It's 5 lights. And it is lights out, and away we going off to actually a fairly sort of standard start there. You'd expect the super soft runners to go off to a bit of a launch there. A midget behind me, actually on a set of mediums there. Made sure, we were nicely through turn 1 all by myself there. And everyone sorts of flocks to the inside here, so I'm going to try and keep it on the outside there. A little bit of bumping between Herschel and Nopals means, unfortunately, I have to back out of that as now as we come through turn 3 there. Gorge Crab has been sent sideways there, and there's cars absolutely everywhere. Midget goes right around the outside. LGS gets caught on the curb on the inside there. A Force India has just been sent to Narnia on the outside there. We fly past Nopals as well. Sam F1 LFC's got so many illegal overtakes. He's, he got a legal overtake on Nopals there. And unfortunately for me, after all of that, we just end up completely sandwiched. And once again, we've been near our teammate, and unfortunately this time it has left me with damage there. But oh no, the carnage from lap 1 is not over yet. Gorge Crab there completely turns in on Midget, and they both get sent straight into the wall there. Somehow Midget survived all of that and did come out of that alive there. But CJ, my EVR teammate, they're actually thinking about looking down the inside in towards the Maggots Beckett section for the first lap of this Grand Prix. We're going to hold on for now, but just 4th gear through there. This is just how bad the front wing was really affected here. And in hindsight, I probably would have gone on to a 2-slot Grand Prix, but I decided we'd brave it out in this race, stay out on this set of these soft tyres, go onto the set of super softs right towards the end of the Grand Prix, and just hope that incidents did happen around me there. 2 drivers actually opted to pit in on the end of lap 1 there of, I'm not actually too sure who that was. Actually, overall, I think it might have been Franglish there as well as someone else. So we now move up into P5 somehow in this Grand Prix. Somehow, as I said, found myself all the way up here nursing a very broken car, and through the rest of stint 1, well, it was inevitable. We were just going to lose position after position here. Just try to keep out of any instance. Don't lose too much time. First of all, then it was CJ there on lap 3 of the Grand Prix. I wasn't going to hold him up, especially as he's part of EVR as well. So backed out down in towards the final few corners there. It's just so demotivating, because you don't want to pit because especially around a 37-mile-an-hour pit lane, you'll just spend 2 weeks in there. But unfortunately for me, actually, where a lot of people did have to pit very early on, we sort of spent the first stint just losing time to the guys ahead and not really losing out too much time to the guys behind. I think it was VRT Herschel, actually the first man and the leader to dive it into the pit lane there. So very, he came back on a fighting form in this Grand Prix. You can see we've near enough lost out a pit stop out to him in the first stint of this Grand Prix. So not really ideal for myself. You can see by lap 10, a couple more drivers had started to make their pit stops here. Me and CJ actually once again did manage to lead a 1-2 for a couple of laps, but unfortunately not really at the right time during the Grand Prix. As you can see by lap 12 of the Grand Prix, Herschel was all over the back of me here, so he basically made up a whole pit stop's worth of advantage over myself. Not really what we wanted in this Grand Prix, but I don't know why at this moment in time, but I thought I'd try to defend from him just a bit. He was on a set of the medium tyres, so I don't really know what I was thinking. You can see how deep we're running out of the old turn 1 there, and I decided to keep my nose in towards this corner. I just completely forgot about how much front wing damage I had there, so that lost me even more time than it realistically should have there. But back down into P3 of the Grand Prix here, and now as you can see, just 1 lap later, it was actually P1R Brown, soon after, that was going to be trying to make a move past me as well. Also, massive credit to Brown in this Grand Prix. He was actually able to go the whole race long on that set of mediums there. No idea how he really did it, to be able to maintain the pace that he did as well. But he goes right around my outside. I'm not going to bother trying to defend from that either. And we were actually going to dive it into the pits 1 lap later on the end of lap 16, the end of lap 14 on this Grand Prix. I was originally intending to go all the way to 16 before making my one and only pit stop here. You can see by the end of lap 14, as I said though, Sam F1 LFC, the championship leader, the absolute championship dominator at this moment in time, it now flies past me here as we're going to come into the pits just from massively wide down in towards the final few corners there. Just could not get that corner right. Unfortunately for me, it didn't seem to be penalising me there. So diving into the pits we go, just about get the car slowed down as we went into the pit lane there. But we're going to get the front wing change. We're actually going to turn down the downforce just a little bit there as well. We're only going to run 2 on the front wing. Thought we may as well, we'll have a bit more grip. And obviously got a new front wing, it won't cost me any extra time there. So getting a new fresh compounded tyres on. Hopefully it should be wonderful between now and the end of the Grand Prix on a nice fresh set of the tyres there. We do stay ahead of Die Hard Fan, and it was crucial there that we never actually went into last place in that race, and that was the most important thing for me by this moment in time. As you can see, unfortunately for me, after that, not really too much happened between then and the end of the Grand Prix. We did move back up, and we did set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix at one point during that race, but unfortunately for me, we sort of just made any positions up. They overthrew guys pitting, and then we just could not close up to CJ ahead of me by the end of the race there. So a little bit gutting, but as we come on to the final lap of the Grand Prix, VRT Herschel has won the British Grand Prix, his first win I think since Australia, right back at the very start of the season. So it's been quite a return to form from Herschel there. Congratulations to him. But yeah, down in towards the final couple of corners of the Grand Prix. To be honest, P8 is probably quite a decent result considering how bad the front wing damage was through the first stint there. So I think, we can be quite happy with that. I do think we re-jump Midget overall in the standings, but Coldhead does re-jump me, so I think we do hold on to P5 overall in the driver's standings there. But there we are then, P8 in the British Grand Prix. Certainly not the best result we could have hoped for there. If we hadn't have had that incident with Coldhead, it could have quite easily been, sort of P4, P5 in that race. But that's racing sometimes, and unfortunately we'll just have to accept that. Focus on the second half of the season. We do have some of my favourite circuits coming up as well. We've got Belgium, we've got Italy, that, those 2 tracks I really want to be trying to fight for the race victory there. But Herschel wins ahead of Brown, Sam F1, Coldhead, Nopals, XR Bobbert, EVR CJ, EVR myself, Mighty Midget, LGS, Franglish, Die Hard, and TRL Ellis round out the field there. TRL Ellis unfortunately disconnected, and Gorsh Crab unfortunately being the only retirement from that Grand Prix. Somehow after all the carnage we witnessed right at the very start of that race. But there we are then, guys. That has been the first half of the AOR season. If I'm not mistaken, the first race back is the 7th or the 8th of January there. But we actually do have some AOR Classic Christmas Cup as well to come to you guys before that. So we certainly will not be running dry of AOR League highlights over the Christmas break. But thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for the support on the first half of this series. I think nearly every video has got over 300 views, so I can't thank you all enough for that. But I will see you guys next time for the Hungarian Grand Prix.